I am watching the World Cup. What's up, Miss Panda? What's up, Drax? What's up, Slayers? Nice, Drax. What's up, Joshua? What's up, XL? What's up, Spiders? I'm good. How are you, Miss Panda? I'm watching the Royals and streaming. That's how you know I'm watching it. Oh, my DPI is way too high. I can just feel it. There we go. I mean, I'm gonna mute my mic for a little bit.
All right, huge shout out to DJ Mike Realm, spinning the ones and twos here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Golden Boy alongside Monster
Yeah, you get
Facebook.
rewards for watching.
One of the most exciting events I've ever been to. That game one was ridiculous. Game two did not disappoint as well, Monster.
I don't know,
No, it
Drax.
didn't. I
That's up
thought
to
for a
you.
second there we're going to see back-to-back performances from Zayt and Sap. And I mean, we honestly did. Everyone that was in the top 10 contestant, even Miz and Deja, they were performing. We saw them cut it all the way through. And it's that level of consistency that's going to cut the difference in making it all the way through the top 10 and being a World Cup winner.
What I've loved seeing is that standings page, top 10. International through and through. You got
you,
the Japanese players popping off, European players popping off, players from New Zealand. Everyone's putting in every little bit they can. But folks, it's now time for game number 3. The players are all loaded up in the battle bus, and we are about to take off. Let's see who's going to get that much closer to raising the trophy and being your Fortnite World Champions of Duos. Here we go.
Keep it going, Golden Boy, because we are jumping into game 3 as these cameras populate. Your favorite competitors are here. They've made it this far. It's the duo competition. If you were nervous before, hopefully they kicked the bucket over this little break here, and they're back and they're recuperating.
I know I practically kicked the bucket after Vinny and Zexro won game 2, man. I was feeling it, man. It was nuts. And there they are on your screen. So the drop for the bus here, it's going to be a north to south one going right over that ice biome. It's going to cut pretty much center of the map there. And Vinny and Zexro, I'm very happy that they're performing this well, Monster. This is a duo that had so much success. Even going into the World Cup qualifiers, we all were like, yeah, this is a duo that definitely should make it. This is a duo that, hey, they could even win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then tragedy struck as Zexro had a few problems with you know, arthritis and different things with his hands. And I'm gonna make sure I'm getting that right. And I'm just bummed out about that. Good to see them here showing up, man. That's huge.
I mean, that's what you expect of our competitive veterans, specifically Zexro, Vinny. They go back to as many of the LAN tournaments that we've seen, as does Zayt and Sap. But anyways, in here we have UN KBB. He's going to take down Mexi. Is Scram close by? Is he close enough? And this is a battle going down in Snobby Shores. So off the rip here, we have players getting dropped. That's actually going to be our first elimination. Lucky for us to catch that one. But there's shots coming in from the Viking Island right up above. And he just kind of turns a corner, sweeps him up, catches that full elim there. So that's his now. Yeah, a little toe-to-toe action here, Golden Boy.
Very rough situation to be in here, but Zexro now looking to engage in this one. Potentially here is going to have, we're going to go over to his POV now. Kind of get, it's a little wild, man. It's like just getting the bearings all together here, I think, for the players as well. That moment where they can just have that conversation. What are they going to do? How are they going to just implement their strategy going into the next game? What is that strategy going to be? Do you mix it up?
Probably.
These are things that are going to be so important for these players. The time that they can take to just communicate with one another. Now Scram looking to be potentially in a world of hurt here. We heard from Nyx, PF Zin earlier on. This is the Brazilian duo. I don't think they know that. Yes, they're Scram. They're going to be on the hunt for him, so they know that he's around here. They're just trying to sniff him out.
Yeah, and if you were in the players' lounge, you could feel the tension, specifically when we brought up the Brazilian duos, the Brazilian players. These guys qualified, and they qualified with heavy elimination. Nyx especially being one of our only players to like literally qualify as hard as you can in the, for the weekend.
He was at it each and every week. You constantly saw him at the top every single time. It was so impressive, and also qualified for solo, so we'll be seeing Nyx tomorrow. And then you got Scram. He's got 2 eliminations, but he's just hiding this one out. He hears them making all that ruckus, all the noise around him, and Scram just does not want to give up his position. Perhaps he grabbed his teammate's reboot card. He's maybe looking for that play. But Nyx and PFZin, they have to have an idea of where he's going to be located here.
Yeah, he does not want to give up his position here. He's actually just hiding in the basement right now, hoping that these guys just kind of blow by like dust in the wind right here. As Nyx and PFZin, they think it's clear. They think it's all good because they came in and they just wrapped up one of the other players. They actually didn't initiate the battle against Mexi and Scram here. So Scram might just get lucky and be able to kind of sneak on by as he hears this powerhouse duo, this Brazilian duo, kind of loot their way through and make their way to the zone soon.
And loot they definitely will, because they're getting a lot of resources out of this. Scram over in the distance. He's going to be out of there, but now we're making our way over to the action. It's happening with 7SSK7. Got Spades and Crims now looking to push on for this fight here, potentially.
Why he's sitting like that,
Got
though?
some shots going off. Crims is going to play that overlook position, getting challenged there, and trying to use that advantage from the download, a little bit of that right hand, right? Just see if you can get a peek in there. Does get tagged up, Crims. Guy does back away there, does manage to build out. And Spades is going to force him out. There you go. So they're just right now playing for that positioning, and I like the fact that they're using these, the natural high grounds, right? Get to the top, hold it down. Don't really focus too much on just trying to get in their face quite yet. Give yourself that moment of opportunity and really get a lay of the land, and then going for the engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. The best duos will try their best to isolate their opponents, really force them into, very weird situations like this, force the 1v1s, and hopefully get those free shots, and then pursue the push here. So again, look at how now they're split up again. So Spades and Crims are doing a great job here pressuring and isolating their opponents right now. And so far, they're definitely dictating the pace of battle here.
Yeah,
that's what they want to continue to do.
They're suffocating them. Plain and simple, right? Not letting them get any kind of movement there. I mean, Jamside and 7SSK7, they're looking, they're having a conversation of what the play is. What is the movement going to be? But Crims and Spades are not going to allow them that opportunity to breathe. That's going to be the down there. Crims managing to knock down Jamside. He's looking for 7SSK7 around the corner, and that's going to be the elimination registered. Both players are going to be out of there. And a big win there for Crimson Spades.
What a clean push right there. Crimson Spades have so much to prove here, because when they qualified, they were kind of looked down on, like, wait a second, was it luck? Was it not? No, they're here to show it off and show why they're at the World Cup Finals. But now, hopping back with Viz and Daedra, we saw them have a great game one, came out top 10, and they're still in the running. They're in about the top 10 right now as well, based off of eliminations. Not necessarily picking up too many placement points. They're heavily dependent on just piping up these players at these points of interest, and looks like Lucky Landers is theirs right now.
And they'll have that, but let's see. Viz and Daedra, they linger about it. I love the fact that you go to this hot spot here, so there is going to be a bunch of free items that you're going to be able to pick up on. Also, you're going to have that circle advantage. It's right there, so you don't got to worry too much. You can continue to focus on looting. High ground has been lost, though. Needs to be careful. Where's Daedra at? He's going to be right next to him, trying to get these angles.
So what they have to do, they have to stick together. Looking for the sound cues right here. Can they find their opponent? Catch a nice little low ground peek right here. Low ground is definitely underrated. If you can just kind of peek out, catch a big shot, you're almost guaranteed a headshot, which is a big multiplier.
Yeah, players don't really think about that, right? Like you always see Fortnite players go after the high ground. That's the bread and butter for a lot of players that play this game. But you know better than most that the low ground can pay dividends for you if you know how to take advantage of that positioning, and maybe some overzealous players to try and get aggressive on you. You got Gustavo along with Wishy.
I'm actually very interested to see if Gustavo's going to lead this push here, because specifically between these two players right here, this duo, this Brazilian duo, Gustavo doesn't necessarily lead the pushes. It's Wishy. Wishy's the aggressive one here. So he has the ultimate high. He's always looking for the shot.
What's up, Caden? If you are new and you enjoy the stream, please drop a sub.
Just a nice standoff.
Yeah, and that's this whole event, right? Players have just been very cautious about what they want to do. They are not trying to get too aggressive in these fights. They know what's on the line here. Millions in prizing is on the line. You do not want to make a bad decision. Be one of those teams that are eliminated out early on, but Gustavo's going to be putting shots down. Focusing this player, forcing him to actually build up. He has no builds to work with as well. 19 HP remaining, and just a hope and a prayer, but unfortunately for him, that was not going to be enough there. Gustavo's out. Wishy isn't going to happen for him either. And Miz, he's feeling it. That's going to be 2 elims for this duo.
You gotta love the snarky little smirk right there on his face when you get those 2 points.
Smirky.
Feels so good.
It's really good. It feels really good. And then Volks and Parpy. And look at this. Parpy actually dealing with this battle. And this other player that actually got the high ground against him was focus firing on Volks. Parpy pushing back here. I wonder, you get split up like this, but Volks and Parpy, they love playing a very aggressive style. They'll get in your face. They'll box you out if they need to.
Yeah, without a doubt, this duo was unmatched when it came down to eliminations in the qualifying rounds. They had the most, actually, and even pulled off a consecutive 5 victories in 8 games to qualify for one of the weekends. Volks and Parpy, another kind of reference to Game 1. They had a great Game 1. We saw them picking up duos, but we haven't seen them necessarily make it through to endgame. All they have to do is kind of slow it down here, and that's what they're trying to do, but being split up is terrible.
Also, in the distance, I just want to make note, Wolfie's a very aggro controller player. He's another one. I think that we've seen a fun mixture of players that look to get that
They're all alone and they have all the shit they need.
Others that just want to take early fights, get some points early
What?
on, because maybe
You don't take
maybe
damage
they're playing
sliding
that
down
early
that?
game strategy rather than like focusing so hard. Like if you get late game, that's great, but you do want to rack up a few eliminations. Look how low the points are that have been thus far in games 1 and 2. Get yourself a few elims and then maybe manage to make it to that top 15, which is very hard given how many players have stayed alive in this game. Games 1 and 2,
Mongrel and Mitra over there.
Circle 5. Yeah, circle 5.
Mountain.
I think we were sitting at like 45.
What's up,
46
Task?
players are just waiting for movement.
Yeah, and that's where that storm surge kicks in, right? Does damage to players. That's dealing back. But Crew and Chapels, one of my picks to watch. Have sort of been struggling in the format so far. I guess
I know,
when the real pressure's on, you know, the environment shifts, right? Everything changes.
Right. That's right. Everything changes here, and Crew does manage to get that shot off, or attempted to, with that tactical shotgun. It was not going to get the connection necessary there, but it did put the fear in the player to have to back away. Both players, well, respecting the space from one another. The stinkers come out. Crew and Chapix having to get out of there, and they're going to use those, I believe, the shockwave nades to just fly on out of there. Didn't see the purple over their bodies there, but they were able to fly on out of that fight. Could have gotten real risky for them.
I was going to say, that was a respectful disengage. You only got 6 games here, 2 of which have happened.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
need big performances. They have to push towards placement and endgame. So good on them to kind of back up. And when you have stinkers, there's no defense against it. You get chunked down right through your builds. It really is annoying to go against. And speaking about the stinkers here, Epic Whale's under pressure right now, and that's just going to chunk him down. They force him off of the campfire, and we'll see if he returns to it. Yep, here you go.
Model, I have
you're
it
only
set
gonna
up.
get so much time with that campfire. Epic Whale.
I really don't know.
Duo in the scene, Airwalks and Nikov. Airwalks winning the Pro-Am yesterday 2 times now. This is a whole new ball game. Best players in the world in this lobby. It's not going to be a cakewalk, and he knows that. It hasn't been the best run thus far for Airwalks and Nikov.
Yeah, and it was their last final games there. Notice the text right there. The fast track Airwalks and Nikov qualified for the Fortnite World Cup in their final 7 games. That's intense. They were struggling so close on the cusp every single weekend, so close to qualifying. If it was 5 placements, they were 6 or so like that. It was that close for them. But jumping in here, Crew is going to put some pressure down, and it looks like his teammate has been traded out as well. He's already gone. Also going to see some eliminations over in the feed as well. You got Crew who just cleaned up on Volks, but Septic took out X-Mend. And then I think I saw XXM pop up there on the receiving end of a shot there, so we'll be out of the action as well. Crew by himself has 1 elimination. Going to be looking to get as many points as possible. Now we're going to be sitting with 40 duos left alive. We're going into the next circle here in just a little bit. It's going to start to collapse. Salty Springs is going to be the point of interest for all of our players here. Got a lot of bodies that are going to be lingering outside. Some that are even as far out as Dusty Divot, like on the northern end of it, sticking around there. So maybe trying to get some last-minute loot, perhaps. We'll have to see. Here is Parpy looking for that peak. Volks and Parpy always tend to stay together, but wait a second, that was a tricky little shockwave right there. He did try to sneak his way into the build. He takes the wall. What are you gonna do with it? Crew's still looking for the replacement here. He gets it on land, takes the wall. 184. Crew's excitement, you can feel it from here. That was a huge shot. With the new tactical shotgun, the legendary. That's right, when you're feeling it, man. He went right for the fight. Ambitious, the young player there from Sweden, 15 years of age, man, and he's playing for millions of dollars. I don't know who so many of these players. They're just young ones. We have a lot of young fans here in the arena today. Maybe next year this could be them. And then you got. I think if Clix and Skeptic's still alive, so it's going to be Clips, Skeptic, and Mitro and Mongrel. Mitro, Aiden there. And or Mr. Savage still back over to our game 2 winners, Zextro and Vinny. No eliminations to their name thus far. I mentioned Wolfie's the aggro controller player. He went right for Nyx and just take him out on that one. Yeah, I definitely want to see Wolfie hopefully catch some more highlights before the weekend's over. Touch base with him. He's a great kid, definitely enthusiastic about being here at the World Cup, and he feels totally prepared. He's ready to represent. He's one of the few controller players to actually qualify. I do want to see Mongrel Mitro win. For a lot of players, obviously, Clix and Skeptic are still alive. Here you have Cease and Elevate. They haven't found the rhythm. They've been a little quiet, man. They won WSOE, a great duo that has had success in the past. But this is I got killed by 100 TCs so far. Gotta get something. I got killed by this kid. The talent is certainly there. I think I saw someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit mention, why is no one talking about Cease and Elevate? And I think it's just important to note that in order for us to talk about it, they gotta start doing some things. And I think games 1 and 2 has not been their game. Yeah, and I mean, we were there in the warm-up rounds. A lot of players were not necessarily revealing strategy, but whoa, that's a huge shot on Ziff right there as Mitro sends one flying down the field right there. Sent him packing. Dear me. All right, so back into the action at hand. We're gonna have Benji and Savage. Everyone's still alive in this game. Notable names, it's obviously Mega and Dubs. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. A lot of people in the crowd pop for Benji Fishy when he walked out, as well as Mr. Savage. For due reason, this is a stupendous duo. The double snipe combination from Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage. Big shot right there. These double snipes, you gotta be careful. There's no standing still in a box here because you might eat one right there. They line up another. Right. Not quite successful that time around, but hey, all damage matters. Storm Surge, you want to be dealing damage. You cannot stay idle. There are no free passes. They got a llama. Look what happened in game 1, man. The Storm Surge claimed a lot of victims. You have to be engaging in fights. You cannot stay still. There's Fwexy and Letwick on the move. Nyrox right behind him. Cooler organization. Benji Fishy's gonna be down. Just saw that one off on the side. Mr. Savage now having to deal with a player that had engaged on him. Gonna get built above. He just needs to wait this one out here, but Benji does get cleaned up. Yeah, that was going to be Fwexy. And that was such a sneaky ambush right there. He used the shadow bomb, pushed up. Notice Benji was kind of over-peaking, harassing players with that sniper. You cannot hold down scope right there. He ate a shotgun to the face, and that's why Benji goes down. And I love what Savage did here. He just went for high ground. He had to immediately get out of there and leave his duo behind. So what can Mr. Savage do? One of the best mechanical players here today. What can he do by himself? It's not going to be easy. Not with a lobby like this. At this point in time, he's
really just looking to play the keep away game. Maybe can pick off a player with that heavy sniper, get an elimination for himself. They only have 1 point right now, and they're nowhere near getting the placement points currently. He's still looking to harass some players. Put some pressure on them. Now you see that half in, half out circle. Only 2 duos are going to be inside of there, so everyone's going to have
Mongrel
to start to move
still alive,
over
looking good.
to that east side.
Twix in cover, getting hit by Storm.
They're starting to make the moves
Storm,
right now. They want to try
Storm
and
surge.
gatekeep, prevent these players from getting inside.
Mongrel
This is the team you want to watch right now during this rotation. Mongrel and Mitro, they are masters at executing, especially when they have mobility like this to cut across the field. They are on the hunt right now, and there's no reason for them to rush. Once they spot out someone, they're gonna pounce. They're gonna jump on that target.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for you to make that mistake. And with the nerves at an all-time high here, players are certainly going to make that error in judgment. Saw it happen in scrims when we were looking at players just getting warmed up. So much at stake here, but there's the launch pad. It's going to go out now. Need to be wary of being to the sky. So many times you think that you're just going to be sailing away with no problem, not a care in the world, and then you just end up losing all of your shields, all of your HP, and then that's it. You're done.
There we go.
I've seen it countless number of times. People tweet out, you know, you fly across, you get taken out the sky, but it's all about timing. Neither Mitro nor Mongrel was shot once on that rotation, and it was masterfully done right there. And it looks like they're tracking so beautifully. Catches someone trying to just kind of rotate on by in a shadow bomb, but that was not enough.
You are not safe from the shadows there, buddy. Another thing, too, was that when they were out of position for a brief moment, the way that they were able to just get back together, right? That patience with one another, the communication, you need to have it. When you're getting down to these final moments, 25 duos are going to still be standing here. You got Calculator and Macwood. They're going to have that high ground up above. Shouldn't be comfortable just yet, because anything can happen here. Look at where that next circle is going to be going. Moves need to be made.
With that RPG, I mean, they can basically take high ground at any given moment that they want nor choose. Calculator looking around, already on 4 eliminations for Macwood. Macwood did say he's the fragger of the duo. We'll see if Calculator can keep up right now. I am just poking good fun because Calculator loves to talk a big game on the social medias.
He really does, man. He's a character without a doubt. But right now, there's no fun and games to be had. This is Game 3 of the Fortnite World Cup Finals. It's time to put up or shut up for a lot of these players.
Look at that, wasting no extra mats. They do not waste more than they have to.
This was earlier on. An elimination onto Mongrel and Mitro. There you have it. Out of the game once again.
It's still alive.
European powerhouse. Gonna pay there to Dubs and Mega.
Oh wait, did Mitro and them die?
So good.
Is that what I just heard?
Holding this positioning right here. He is gonna get blocked out with his teammate accidentally, but it's all good. This is still his ground to control right now. They have clear control of the skies here.
And they have a ton of builds to work with as well, Monster. 4 eliminations for Macwood. A great game for him thus far. That's 4 points for this duo, but he's going to be taking some shots. Has to be careful there. There you can see the lay of the land, Monster.
Yes, the placement thresholds will be divvied out soon. There goes the Storm Surge already ringing down on players. Jay has to make a big move. Doesn't matter. Zate is going to wrap up right here as Keys goes down as well. And the shots are flying. And you can just look at the overhead, the chaos that's going on in the mid-round specifically.
And look who's still in this, Saf. They're going to be in first place. If they keep this going, another dominant game for them, another high-placing game could be the difference maker to keep them in that first-place position. Up on the high ground, Calculator and Macwood putting down shots yet again, not giving players any moment to be comfortable whatsoever. Look at the names that are here, though. The Rockets now starting to fly by Wolfies. Wolfies having to defend himself. Zate's going to be out of this one, so now it's going to be up to Saf. And Saf, he had to see his teammate go down, but his back's going to be too
Dubs and Mega are still alive.
Mega, who's waiting this one out. He knows on the right side of your screen, you can see it down these players, they're going to try and force their way into his box, so he has to play defense. He has to disengage. And there's Saf, who just lost his teammate Zafe. Now he's going to be running this one solo. And then up above, it's Macwood and Calculator. This whole time, they picked up 3 eliminations from that whole exchange.
People after this tournament are going to be millionaires.
Still putting the pressure down. And Zaf is looking for one, but it's Vinny who's going to take him out right there. So Vinny's going to find his first elimination, and he has so much health. He is in the game right now, although by himself, because Zextro is down. And now,
I want to see Dubs and
Sniper,
Megas
one of the few duos that are still left in this game right here. Arkham somehow, with a masterful rotation, he's still in as well. Bad Snipers at 11 eliminations for Outflow here.
Wow, unreal stuff. Bad Sniper is going to be out of this one. Macwood and Calculator still owning the high ground. On the mid, down below, Dubs and Mega, one of the premier duos here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Could they get the high ground and wrestle the control away from Calculator and Macwood? Oslo waiting for Vinny. You can see that engagement down low, but we got to focus on what's going on above here, because Macwood and Calculator, they have their eyes on Dubs and Mega, and they do not want to give them that freedom to dictate where they want to go. They want to try and pinch them. Arkram just eliminated Vinny on that, and it's going to be Oslo and Arkram down low, but you're going to have a clash, a 2v2 in the high and in the mid ground, and Dubs and Mega feeling that pressure, needing to just dial back here, wait a minute, because I think what they're doing is they're just trying to see if they're going to run out of builds potentially. I mean, the play here certainly has just been defense, defense, defense.
Yes, that's right. Oslo's now left by himself. All he has to do is time this firefight, so long as he doesn't bother them. But Dubs and Mega try to go for the high ground and make a fatal error. They fall to the low here, Golden Boy.
They get a kill right there. That's
Mega and Dubs, they have the
That's
low
the best
ground,
place
the
you can be
ultimate
right
low
now.
ground. Oslo's going to be outside.
Nice.
He gets the elimination. Calculator and Macwood,
Nice.
they're holding the high ground, and that's the victory royale. Macwood pops off in game 3. 7 eliminations for him, 2 for Calculator, 9 total, plus the victory royale. 19 points for that duo. Crushed it.
There was just something about the loadout. Seeing that RPG once they already were holding the best point, the high ground. You just knew. Pressure, and that's what Macwood did there. What was it, 7 eliminations? Hey, shout out to Calculator too. He got a couple at the end.
Yeah, he had his back. Most importantly, Dubs and Mega constantly playing that defense. Credit to Macwood and Calculator for the way that they continue to apply the pressure. And then it was the shock, sending them down low, forcing them into that engagement. Credit to Oslo now, who took traps instantly. Says he maybe can get a cheeky trap elimination. Didn't work out for him there, but a top 3 placing for him. Certainly got to be happy with that one. And then it came down to the final moment when Calculator and Macwood together were able to push his player with their combat shotties. Boom, that's the game. And look how happy they were there.
So good. Gotta love their reactions right there.
Whew. What a game that was. Had a little bit of a slow ramp up, you know. But that's what Fortnite will do to you. You're just talking, you're having a conversation about where the positioning is going to be, and then out of nowhere, boom, you're in the action, you're in the fight, and things start to get wild. Great game there for Macwood and Calculator. Calculator winning on the world stage, man. Look at that. Eat your heart out, Reddit.
I gotta say, you know, I'm sure he's proved a lot of people wrong, and you have to respect it.
Yeah.
But, Golden Boy, I want to see where we stand here.
Where are we right now? So at the top, it's still going to be Saf and Zate with 38 points. They have that victory royale from game 1 and 16 eliminations. Mega, Dubs, 2nd place, looking pretty. No victory royales for them thus far. You saw Zextro and Vinny do the same thing.
They only need 1 point to get back up. They can not 1 point.
To 6th place.
One good game. They can do it.
Total 12 eliminations in that game. They're finally in that top 10.
I want to take it one step further. Bad Sniper and Oslo jump up to 13 total eliminations. They didn't have anything up until this point. They just had one great pop-off game. And suddenly they're in the running here. It is anyone's game in the top 10 because you have to be consistent. And again, there's always those wild cards, those pop-off moments. And here's a look at page 2. Any of these guys are still in the running right now.
You got Bell and Scarlet, who've been wrestled out of the top 10. The Japanese duo who had a premier game in game number 1. Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage saw their demise earlier on. They're going to have 13 points there, but you saw the standings, and we're in game 3. And these games are going to be so critical. Games 3 and 4 really set that tone, because once you get into like game 5, a lot of players are going to be down low. Like, there's opportunity for you to try and get your way into that top 20, which is where you're really going to start to get a lot in the prizing. But for the folks that are going to be sitting in top 10 right now, they're going to be feeling very nice about their current standings. For game 3 to be in 2nd place, Dubs and Mega, and then Saf and Zate still performing so well.
And that's the crazy part. Dubs and Mega, everyone has been rooting for them. They're like that wild card that came out of nowhere, and they really swept the competitive community hard lately.
That's right. So I did get word. We have Jordan standing by with our winners from Game 3. Jordan, take it away.
NA really showing up and showing off today. It's amazing, seemingly tapping in that nail on the coffin. Such a
Calculator looks so awkward.
I have to say, calculated game here from Calculator and Macwood. Guys, well matted, well utilized. You dominated high ground, seemingly all of that in-game there. Walk me through that process of getting that high ground.
You see him pinching his
and
shorts?
dominating for the
He's
rest of the
nervous as
game.
fuck.
Well, we were able to pick up 2 lucky eliminations on that outer circle of 4th zone, I think it is, and we were able to use our mats to build up. We were lucky enough to get half.
I wouldn't be any different, Caden. I can't do big crowds like that.
Amazing. Well, I mean, again, you had 3 games left
Imagine.
to go. The strategy is
There's a couple thousand people watching you, literally looking at you.
What you've been working on thus far.
I didn't hear the question.
Strategy, maintaining thus far. You guys have a very calculated and very patient game, seemingly leading all the way up to the end of the end game. Right. Walk me through your strategy for the end of the next 3 games.
Shoot them in the head.
Shoot them in the head. You heard it here first. Back to you, GV and Monster.
Calculator gets one opportunity to show the world his prowess and knowledge of Fortnite. He just says shoot them in the head. You gotta respect it.
You know, some people, it's just that simple, and hey man, maybe he's just wired that way, right? We're all wired a little differently. Calculator has clearly got his head on his shoulders, and he's ready to just shoot things.
Yeah, but Macwood was the one doing a bulk of the shooting in that last game. 7 eliminations for Macwood. He looked so great, and you would expect the young Calculator to be the one that leads the charge on slaying, but Macwood, man, holding it down. And let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I mean, you know, Macwood not that much older, right? But I think it's just important to note that you have to have teammates at any point in time to just pop off. Like, you need that. It's so necessary. You gotta trust in your teammate. That's what makes a lot of these duos so successful.
Does anyone know how much first place, how much money first place gets?
Every round, some teams are just more aggressive than others, and they know how to stick together.
A lot of great moments in that game, and good news for us is that we got Sundown standing by to break it all down. Sundown, over to you.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy and Monster. Now, we talked about Safe and Zat. We just got to talk with Macwood and Calculator, but Dubs and Mega had an incredible game from the early into the mid that they transitioned into a top 2 performance. So let's dive right on in and see what allowed to make them into the top 3. First, notice their elims in the bottom corner, but the rifle fired together. The second they see the shield is down, able to pick up 1. Mega is the one who is leading the charge here. He picks up all 4 of their first elims. You can see Waller plays down, and the trap is so intelligent. Double ticks going through, places the ramp so it's phased. Knowing the yellow is there, pushes in.
Wow, that's how Mongrel Mitro died?
Dubs stays
wow,
up, which is
I
very
would
enough
be
HP.
pissed.
And you can see he's trying to trap the floor every single time. Gets the mid-ground control. 5th elim for Mega. We talked about how high their ceiling was. Unfortunately, using the shockwave to go down and end up at a low ground
didn't get broken,
disadvantage.
it would have been better for Mega and Dubs.
Able to ride it out, but now Mega and Dubs have pushed into that top 3, challenging to be the first ever World Championship duo.
My question is, why didn't they build? They didn't build at all.
Full
if they had builds to build.
Duos. The question is, in the last half, the last 3 games, will they be able to keep it up? Will NA stay on top? Will Serpent and Hype represent Oceania and upset the apple cart? I'm about ready to see some hype myself. Let's throw it back inside for the last 3 games. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, if you want hype, got you covered, baby, because these games have been incredible. And if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. We're in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Game 3 just concluded. We had 3 different winners across 3 different games. This is our duos competition. These players are playing for a lot of money in prizing. So much on the line here. Lives will change forever after today for those players that are on the stage and some of the folks you're seeing on your screen right now in, well, I would say in a different situations than they would find themselves in. You got Vinny and Zexro, they're right there. Zayt and Saf, 3 games in, still holding on to first place. It has been wild stuff. Welcome, I'm Golden Boy alongside with Monster D-Face here, and it's been a great day. Really, there's nothing more that you could possibly say about it. And as I had mentioned before, the pricing, the money that these guys are battling it out for, this is it. First place will take home $3 million. Second place gets $2.2 million. Like, that's just absurd. You get in the, where is this here?
4 millionaires, 4 millionaire duos before the weekend is over. Not to mention all the fame and clout that comes with it. So
oh, yeah.
I think you'll be pretty well off at that point. But everyone's a winner here. We're here to celebrate all of the competitors that made it this far to the Fortnite World Cup final stage, because those 10 weekends of
second,
qualifications were not
2.2
easy.
million. Hold on.
When you get
I wish I
into
can go
10th
back.
place,
Let me look at my stream.
That's
Eighth gets
you really start to rack
300K.
up the coin,
That's where
but
Mongrel and
game
Neutral
four
are.
Now
That's
about to
fucking
begin. Here we go, folks.
Fourth gets
Let's see
$1.5
who's
million.
gonna come out on top. We've had 3 different winners, but our top performers
So
have been
if you're a duo
consistent through
in
and
first
through.
place, you each
Are
get
we gonna
$1.5
see
million.
a repeat winner? Are we gonna get a new one to add to the
and you get a
list? It's now
55K
time.
consolation
The battle
prize
bus is
just for
loaded up.
playing.
Let's start game 4.
And you know what? Every game so far, we've seen a new winner. I love that. Same thing with the Pro-Am. There was always some new duo showing that, hey, we've been playing this game. We're ready to take a victory. Everyone here has the potential to come out on top, and you see it unfold in those final moments.
Throughout the weekend, we've been doing interviews, meeting with fans, and talking to people, and a lot of folks have asked, who do you think is going to win? And I know it sounds like a cop-out answer, but I'm very real with you all. I have no freaking idea because it truly is up. It's up in the air. This is a battle royale game. At any point in time, you can have Macwood and Calculator just having the game of their lives in Game 3, and now look, boom, they're going to be sitting in the top 10. I mean, how do you even predict that?
We nearly saw it with Zayt and Saf. I think anyone with good logic can clearly put their money on people that have had prior experience, but even that is not enough, because Macwood and Calculator showing that, hey, you know what? We don't even need that. We're here to slay.
Dubs and Mega, they're in second place. They made their names in these qualifiers that led us up to this point. They did not find themselves in land. This is the first time these young men are up there playing on this stage. When I was their age, I couldn't even believe that I would be capable of doing something like that. And they're doing it, and they're doing it with style. And then to make matters worse for everyone else in the server, they've been so consistent, deadly through and through.
Yeah, that's right. And they're in second place, no victory royale. So just showing that if you step to their box, you're gonna get hurt. We saw Mega with the masterful, and I mean beautiful performance under storm surge pressure. He didn't even blink an eye, still fighting other players, fighting his way out of that desperate situation. Volks and Parpy, let's just hop into this duo right here. We'll talk about him a little bit. They are known for sticking to the hip in PvP. Earlier today, we saw Volks get traded out, but it wasn't just like an easy trade. They were actually winning the engagement up until that point, just showing that they have the skill. And that's the OCE region, right? One of the most feared regions here at the qualifiers, because of the fact that you just had to get a ton of elims. You had to be #1 in the region.
When talking to players, I would ask them, what are you looking to avoid? And every time, if it was, you know, the NAU players, they would say, I'm just trying to avoid OCE or Brazil. I don't want to have to deal with that, because they play the hyper aggro style, and they just don't care who you are. They're going to go for the fight.
I mean, you saw Scarlet and Bell in that first game. I truly thought they were going to take the whole thing. It was so close.
Even Sinnoh in the Pro-Am yesterday, another top player
finished
in the
second.
Asian region, finished second. And he was just, I know it's a Pro-Am, obviously a different competition there, but he was just going into boxes. He didn't care, not a care in the world for them. Now Volks and Parpy do find a player up above here, right by the jet stream.
And he hit him once for whites already, so that means there is no shield on that player. You can have up to 100 effective shield. That player's dangerously weak, and Volks is just keeping an eye on him. He doesn't know if he slipped out already, and he says, you know what, I'm gonna go back to my teammate. It's a little too risky getting split up here.
Play for the mid to late game in this situation now, but 7SSK is going to be dealing once again with Spades and Crims. It seems like just a constant for them. They cannot seem to win out on this fight. Crims is going to be down though, so the advantage could be going in the favor of Jamside and 7SSK.
$15 million tournament, my bad.
Have the high ground, now having to deal with a 1v2. Does he have what it takes to pull this one off? He doesn't own that wall. He has no more build to work with as well. They're going to push out, and Spades couldn't deal with it, and that's going to be the win there for those two.
You would think for Jamside and SSK, like, hey, you know, we've been landing here, haven't been successful. Do you mix it up? They say, nah, I'm going to stick to my guns here because everyone's a winner regardless.
The VP boys coming out on top. Week 6 qualifiers for them. And they just need that game, that one game. So many of these players get that one game that catapults them into the top 10. And then the momentum shifts. The confidence starts to rise up. You think to yourself, I am capable of being able to do this.
Mongrel looking for it right here. Love this dual perspective right now. Mongrel's actually looking for a side angle. He's going for the offense, pushing out. Is he tracking this player down? It's really hard to tell. They're getting into, really just going deeper into Neo Tilted. If you hang on the outskirts or by the slips, you're at huge risk for getting dived onto. It looks like they say, you know what, we're just gonna continue to push on through. Those guys dive off, and those markers are actually the trackers. They say, hey, you're going this way. Mongrel still wants a piece of this.
Keeping up with where players are moving in the crowded Neo Tilted, a new area that was introduced just a little while ago. Some players made Tilted Towers their home. This was a drop spot for so many, the likes of Nick Merckx, Aiden, right? But ever since it changed, you started to see players second guess whether or not they wanted to go to the new Tilted. Talking to Aiden earlier, actually when we went out to go get pizza and stuff, he had mentioned like Tilted's just a whole different beast now. Just not something that he really would want to deal with. That's why you don't really see him going that way anymore.
Yeah, it's just a different lay of the land. As things start to shift, different comforts kind of tend to evolve and whatnot here. But we have Twiz in cover H looking for a push down right now, and they have the positioning, they have the high ground, and it's just a matter of, do we want to dive down? They don't want to give up their angle. They know this duo below them have a flint knock. Flint knock can do so much damage if you peek the wrong way. Minimal's gonna hit you for about 80.
This duo from New Zealand, we had a chance to talk to them for that piece, and great to see that friendship, the communication that they'll have for one another, something that a lot of these duos that came together for the Fortnite World Cup duos portion of the finals don't really have. They don't have that cohesion, that chemistry that these two will have, right? That Saf and Zate would have as well.
Crazy to think there's 89 players in the lobby and 48 duos, so a lot of disengages, a lot of solos out there right now. Keenstar and Hunter looking to defend themselves right now, and it's just a cat game right here, cat and mouse game. What are they gonna do? They actually shockwave on out of there, and into the slip they go. They're out. They're trying to get away. That was a shadow bomb right there, and he's gone.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that duo that was coming in, but the storm is creeping up now. This is only phase 1. Nyx gets knocked by Zexro. Saw that in the elimination feed just a second ago. Item and Derox out in the wide open.
And it looks like, actually, they saw Mend right there building by himself in a one poor wooden shack, and they're pushing the shack now. So Twiz is going to hear these shots off in the distance, but looks like we're hopping over to the Loot Lake area where it's Macwood and Calculator going against Daedra and Miz. This is a top 10 contenders right here.
The Game 3 winners now having to deal with Daedra and Miz. Shots as well, snipe shot, you just heard that one squeak by Daedra. Need to be careful there, there's some more shots being laid out. Disengage as well. And they're just really pushing them away from here because you gotta get to that safe zone. Don't wanna have to deal with the storm, obviously. It's still early games here, so you're not gonna be ticked for too much. But you're really looking for this next zone, where you're gonna start to move here. And this, again, the game is going to be so slow in the start because as you get closer and closer to the end, game 4, critical game, Monster. So many points you can earn from this. Flying into the top 10 potentially if we have a new winner that was outside of it. This is where players start to, I guess it really sets in on them that they're going to be playing for $3 million in prizing.
Yeah, if it hasn't already. I don't know what world they're living in, but here it is. Twiz goes for the shockwave overhead, and it's DUOS who eats a chunky one right there. Cover H looking to chop this bad boy down. In comes the Sinkers. Is it going to be enough, though? The pressure is so real right here.
Twiz and Cover H doing it not only for themselves, doing it for New Zealand, their families, and everyone watching them at home. and that is going to be one elimination through. I saw that one pop up. That's number 1 for the duo. The challenge comes in, and that's the win there. 2 elims total. Twiz gets them both.
He tried to get out there and play the trap play, but it was not enough. 7 SSK and Jamside have rotated in from Paradise Found.
Oh no.
Oh no, down comes the build.
Oh no.
They should be close enough. Yeah, he is going to be able to catch himself, and a
no.
build battle goes off, Golden Boy.
The coverage is going to be down. Jamside, 7 SSK 7. You're looking at Jam's perspective here. Going in for the fight, and after winning that one out, it's going to be Jam and 7 SSK 7 that get the better of the boys from New Zealand.
They found their stride coming into game 4 so far, and that means they're in the running right now. 4 elims is enough to put you on just about page 2, top 20, and we talked about it. If you can make it to that top 20 bracket, you're still in the running so far because there are several more games left before this thing is over here. This Calculator finds himself very high in the sky right here. He's got a nice little base, and they're just waiting.
Yeah, waiting it out. Norwood's going to be beneath them. And those are the players that were forced them out before. Oh no. Starting to hear the explosions, knocking them out.
Wow, he actually sent a shot when the explode came in and hit Cease with that? What? How was Cease knocked right there?
Just, again, when it comes to Fortnite, you never know what you're really going to expect here. Players will always pull something out of the hat and surprise you each and every time. I was looking over at Macwood, who's playing defense. Calculator now really having to deal with 2 players angling shots at him. Macwood back into a fighting position, a fighting posture to help his buddy out.
And it's so unfortunate because they were just about to push to seal the deal and elevate there, and that third party up on the mountain ruined that push.
Slows things down. Elevated Seas having to deal with the Stinkers will be moving out of the fight now.
I love it right there. He uses the Stinkers to back him off, and since he doesn't take friendly damage from it, he pushes right into enemy territory here. He's so offensive. He's on the enemy traps.
Oh, man.
Macwood gets owned right there.
Not what you wanted to see happen after winning game number 3, but Elevate and Seas, we mentioned them before. They just need that moment to pop off so everyone here in New York can see what they're capable of. Such a great duo, but now having to deal with another fight. But to Elevate, what a shot there. On Calculator, sending him packing.
Calculator did a great job, though. He did win his straight off against Cease. Ronaldo and Zip are just nearby, though. Looks like they've heard the commotion. They're getting closer, and it's Norwood. Norwood's lurking about. He was like, you know what, getting closer, trying to see what he can do here. And Zip's going to fall down here because of the shockwave.
Yeah, Norwood was the one down low, hearing all of the action happening. Zip and Ronaldo now in front of us. Do they manage to get this wall, just get ownership of it, but the ramp is going to be placed, giving him time to wiggle out of that moment of time.
And Norwood actually used all of his shockwaves there to disengage.
Yeah, it's not really worth it. By yourself, evidently. Oh, man. And that's Norwood. Norwood tried.
He didn't get far.
He did not get far at all, my friend. But there's the other duo right in front of him. Zip and Ronaldo have him in the sights. Ronaldo's going to be on the other side now. Engaging in the fight, not taking any damage.
Such a good job, though. Good job by Zip here to come in and back up his teammate right now. He is trying desperately to get to his teammate here. This is great teamwork. Now they have the pinch lined up, and the trap is down. That's a siphon for Elevate right there.
That siphon could be the difference maker for him. Zip doesn't have any shields. Needs to take a moment to just pop the minis.
It's a little bit of a reset here.
He's still in this too. So he didn't get knocked. He's not full eliminated yet.
Which is rough. You don't convert the Elim, you don't get the point either here. As Elevate is doing a great job on defense, but the Campfire heals down players as well. This is actually really, really smart of them to sit on the Campfire right now and just wait and buy time. Always looking to set up the phase through right there, trying to get through the build. Some shockwave comes out, and close but no cigar.
Such an intense fight between these two.
Oh no, someone thirsted.
Snappy, he went for the shot from the distance. There you see him right there along with Red Rush. And then Zip down
live
low
still
on this island.
Mega.
Using not only the rocks,
Elevate.
but also this metal that he had just built up for himself to get out of this.
Zip is the target of the server at the moment, as everywhere he moves, he cannot seem to catch a break, but he is going to find a little bit of that high ground real estate right here and hopefully ease up the burden, but nope, has to change layers again. And Now let's go ahead and take a look.
Oh, and Zip
elevate.
is out of here. Funk, it's.
Oh, that was elevate. Yeah.
I think I could have sworn I saw Funk there, but no, I think that was Elevate. Apologies, that was Elevate that did get that.
But the secure was there. Moving on now, taking a look
Mr. Savage
at
M,
the other
Benji
side
Fishy,
of the map.
Mitro,
We
and
have
Mongrel.
Stompy
Let's
and
go.
Shinken still in the game. Mongrel and Mitro, Benji and Savage, Aqua. All of these duos, very, very powerhouse duos here.
Yep.
Close by right now.
4 eliminations for Benji Fishy. 36 duos remaining. It's going to be a loot late circle. So some water. Players will just have to build over. Nothing that these guys can't handle. Oh, a lot of open air though. Lots of open air.
All right, Benji's at 4 eliminations here.
He's been having a good game. They've been playing well.
Playing very good. 4
Just the
elims.
final moments, right?
This early in the game to have 4 elims is actually huge, and I love what they're doing right now, just fishing for damage because Storm Surge, you never want to be under the pressure of the Storm Surge. They know that with 50 players in the lobby dependent on the zone, Storm Surge will activate, excuse me. So Force Sinkers is the perfect tool, perfect utility to have.
Oh,
Take some
goes
damage down
Sean
on any
and
of these
goes to
players
Aiden.
getting comfortable inside of a box. Now looking at
Got a
this,
lot of good players
got
left in
Vinny
this match.
down low in a campfire.
I want Mongrel and Mitro
Saw
to win.
Aiden and Sean
I really
there,
do.
too. Had a few good moments for Aiden and Sean. It hasn't really been their event so far.
Dude,
6 elims.
that's insane. Having 6 eliminations already. Take a look at this stat right here. Damage dealt, 842. The match average, every other player on average, 176. That's not even enough to take out a player with shield and health. So they're doing a lot of work on this lobby right now, and they are here to play. Looks like they're gonna find themselves another spot. This is actually an interesting spot, but it's all good because they have launch pads. They can get up and over this cliff lip right here, and they're backside safe. So all they have to do is protect their forward angles.
I understand we did get some moments.
Look at that freaking
of
ball,
Mongrel
dude.
earlier on as he's trying to see where players are going to start to make some moves. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, and we'll come back and see where they are currently.
Nice.
Oh my, I'm dead.
Come on, Mongrel. Nice.
Nice! Nice! Oh my god, nice.
Let's go.
And that's why this is one of the best duos in Fortnite. Way to clutch up in those moments, man. Yeah, the nerves, they have to be shaking there. But Mongrel, just a steely stare. Love it. Love to see it.
Get out there and get yourself a duo that's gonna clutch up for you today in the Fortnite
If
game.
your friend ain't doing it, drop him. You don't need him.
That's right, but you heard him. He said we're gonna win, loud and confidently. Mongrel and Mitro are here.
And they're here to win this game. That's the mission. But everyone else, all 33 duos that remain here have that same objective in mind. Luckily for them, I think that circle does work out for them just a tad.
And there it is, Storm Surge. It's now live.
And it's going to hurt some
Gustavo.
people.
You either have to do damage or less than 50 players have to be in the lobby. So 6 players, 6 individual players right now
Gustavo's
are under.
down.
Yep, that's it. Gustavo gets owned right there. Is Wishy going to be able to do something about it?
Elevate's still alive. Dub's
Storm
still
Surge
alive.
in
Mega.
effect. Dubs and Mega once again.
Lot of
They're in
good players
second
in
place
this
in the
game.
leaderboards. 3 games have worked out very, very well for them.
And they can see that effect. You can see the Storm Surge around you.
51 players. Only 1 player needs to be eliminated, and that will be it.
Says, you know what? We balling. They out. They're going. They're trying to get that zone plan for placement right now. And do you blame them? Why not? They're in the lead right now. All they have to do is consistently skate through. They've gotten through the hardest part, the beginning. They're warmed up. As Mega is trying to fish around here and get a good spot in. Looks like they get themselves a little bit more real estate, but the pressure is in because the baller players come in.
Right in front of him, too. More defense having to be played here. It's kind of shades of game 3 when they were in a similar spot, but this was from the high ground. This time will be right in front of them. The action has cooled though. They can take a moment to reset.
Definitely did cost a fair amount of metal right there. Mega now on 300 metals, trying to inch his way to that fence nearby. Just doing a little bit of a material swap right there. Back to Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy.
Powerhouse
With the
tanks
minigun. The
all
minigun's so
over this
good
match.
for pressure plays.
Spread out a few of those materials. Get ready for the potential movement. Snaking as what you would hear players often mention. They tunnel out, give themselves some coverage. You need a lot of materials for that. Then the artillery strike from up above, a new item that was added. You can build around and give yourself some defense, so really it's just waiting it out rather than having to move out of the blast area. 5 elims for Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy. 6 for Mitra and Mongrel. This has certainly been a dominant game for EU thus far.
Yeah, for sure. As Yuang takes out Rote right there. EU player is going to go down. Rote gets the trade out, though. Must have been the zone here as we are cutting across here. Micho's trying to find some real estate here. Is he going to be able to set up? He's going for the high ground. A little bit of a build-up. Mongrel's got it under control. He's got the high. Who's putting some pressure down? Yeah, he's getting the shot straight across here.
Dropped down.
Yeah, there was a duo right on the other side there that Mitro was concerned about. So he goes low. Then really, wherever you go, there are going to be players looking right at you. And sometimes you just manage to incur the wrath of the entire server. Luckily for Mitro, that did not happen quite yet. Saf, I just saw Saf get dropped. Zate's going to be separated from his teammate there across the side. And that is the circle creeping on forward. It's going to be open air, open space for them. So the ballers will have space to move around and try to survive here. This is it. It's coming down to the final moments, Monster, for a lot of these players. The pressure's on.
Yeah, Saf has already been taken out, so Zate is left to fend for himself here. Can he play replacement? We already know Mongrel Mitro were split up. Can they find themselves amongst the chaos here? Aqua and Nyrox are holding up the high ground here as well, and that's a scary duo. Way up top, uncontested.
Not someone that you want to have up above you. Mitro, 6 builds remaining. After this, doesn't really have much left to work with, and the builds go away pretty much instantly. Zate gets eliminated, so that's going to be the end of the duo that's currently in first place in the standings, but Mega and Dubs. Dubs is out as well. 4 eliminations for the duo, the bottom right of your screen. Mega very capable of being able to clutch this out by himself.
Mongrel's drinking minis.
But it will not be easy.
Yeah, Mongrel actually just slips into the low ground too right now, so he is trying to stay alive here. Jumps into someone's box. It's Voron who gets taken out right there by Mongrel, so he's still in the running. Mega goes up and gets traded as well. Vinny's still here too. So many solos remain right now, but there are still several duos in the game here, Golden.
And the scariest duo is going to be up above. It's Aqua and Nyrox. They're tarping this up, and they're putting down shots wherever they can. If they can get a few more eliminations, a few more points, that will jettison them up the leaderboards.
Elevate has 7 elims as well right now. He has 7 already. Rojo jumps out of the box. Wolfie's still in the game.
Controller player. Talking to our boy Christian earlier, he mentioned he loves to get in the faces of players, and it has worked out for him thus far. Elevate is out of the game. 7 eliminations.
Benji
for him, 7
still
points,
alive.
not bad at all, and you're going to get the placements to boot.
Oh, Benji
Still,
Fishy's
Aqua and
getting lasered.
Nyrox up above. Then you got Benji Fishy in the game. 5 eliminations for him, 6 total with Mr. Savage's 1. Oh, there's a player in front of him. He pops up in front of him. Oh, that's so scary there. But Benji Fishy is eliminated by Sky.
Sky has been around the competitive scene for a long time, and for good reason right there. Nyrox now owning from the high ground, putting that pressure down. A shockwave was initiated right there, but it's not going to be enough. This is their map to control right here in the final moments. They're the only duo standing, Golden Boy.
This is their game to win. The cooler duo. Is this going to happen? As they're putting the pressure on these players down low. They're synergized, they're communicating, and they're ready to pick up this victory royale in Game 4.
He only has 10 builds, though. This is very intense. Both of them don't have much here. He's going to put all the splashes down. Is that the decision right there to commit? Looks like the shockwave is going to cause an eruption in the high ground, and now they're in the zone here. What's going to happen here? This is so close.
5 players remaining. Few left as the Shockwave is going to send him all the way up. Nyrox takes out Falconer down low, and he's wrestling with everyone, but Nyrox is out. Oh no, he does manage to get the elimination, and in the storm, he gets the victory royale. 7 eliminations for the duo. A big, big win for Nyrox and Aqua.
Huge shockwave play in the final moments right there. It's going to propel him to the high ground and allow him to work top down. But not only that, it chucked everyone into the zone for a couple of seconds right there. So it truly was the ultimate disruption right there.
The shockwave, the end of the game, will just change everything. The complexion of it all. And it's just everything that had happened right at the end here. Look at Nyrox. He just went down low. He wanted to get scrappy with him. He goes down. That's Sky and Chapix. And then it's Aqua who follows it up. Flew up right into the sky there.
That was actually
I also like looking at the player's face at these moments because the focus that he has. Ooh, man.
To hit your shots, you must hit your shots. Look at that. Stompy, Jinkin have talked about Aqua and Nyrox as players to look out for. They're scary competitors on the scene, and good to see them take a victory royale.
Yeah, in EU, right? So we've had 2 NA, 2 EU now. You know, getting a little scrappy out there.
Spicy.
I like to see it, right? Everyone's like, EU, where you at? NA, where you at, right? But hey, that is the game, right? You never know what you're gonna get. Safin's 8 still hold on to first
Mongrel
place, but it's only gonna be by
and
2
Nitro
points.
in
Dubs
fourth.
and Mega,
Nice.
they're looking for that
Benji
victory
and
royale.
Savage
If they're able
in
to get
8th.
it,
Nice.
hey, they could find themselves in first. Vinny and Zexro in 3rd place, currently with 35
Mega
points.
and Dubs
5
2
shy
points
of
away.
first place. Safin's 8 have to hold on to their title as the Kings of the Mountain. And in that last game, they just could not put it together. These last few games for this duo is going to be critical given how close this gap is between all of the players in the top 10.
That's right, and take a look at your next page here. We saw plenty of Spades and Crims winning that Paradise Palms kind of early interaction, but one loss sets them way back to the second page now because you have to continue to accrue points here. But look, Epic Whale still here as well. There's a lot of players in the running.
Yeah. Wild stuff from game 4. Excuse me. We had
Guy just walked in
the
front of the
duo,
camera.
Cooler duo managing to get their win on the world stage. I know that we're going to have Jordan in a little bit with the winners. He's getting everything together. I want to hear from these players, and good news is we are going to do just that. So let's send it on over to Jordan, who has our winners standing by.
A massive shift for EU here. We all know that shockwave grenades can absolutely shift the balance of in-game, especially allowing you to propel yourself up and work your way top down to dominate and control what was the most exciting final moments of in-game here today. What is your plan going into these next couple of games? There's a lot kind of hanging in the balance here, right? There's a big momentum shift for you, and you have the opportunity to kind of go any direction that you want. What's your plan?
Our plan is just to keep going what we're doing right now, just landing our spot and going for consistent placement points.
Consistent placement points, that's key and can absolutely take the Vic Roy home, as you saw just now. Back to you, GB and Monster.
Thank you so much, Jordan, for that one, and stay the course. No reason for you to adjust anything. If it worked out for you there, clearly you're doing something right, Monster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these competitive players know best, and stubbornness is in their name. You saw Jamside, 7SSK say, hey, I don't care if I lose the first 3 times here. We're going to master this. We're going to turn it around. And they did. They had a great, at least, showing at some point at the last one. So players are going to stick to the guns.
Early engagements, man, that is just, I love seeing those fights with the gray weapons, right? You really can tell who can figure it out with not much to work with. That's always the challenge that players have to deal with in the beginning of a game like this. Now, I do understand we have Balla standing by to break it down and what we saw in Game 4. Balla?
Yeah, well, Aqua and Nyrox definitely showed up here today, and the resurgence of EU is maybe starting. We've got 2 more games to go, but I want to talk about Mongrel and Mitro and what they had to do in this game here. They actually ran into Zexro and Vinny. We're going to start off. GB, you were talking about early game engagements. This is one that's been going in the duo of Mongrel and Mitro's favor against Skeptic and Clicks in Neo Tilted Towers. The pressure here from Mitro to find out exactly where the first player is. Mongrel up above, then targeting on both. They try to get into the same box at the same time. They go down and just continue pushing forward. Mongrel and Mitro, it's the second time that they win this engagement here today, and it's not stopping. They continue forward onto Volks and Parpy and just try to hunt down everything. There Clicks is trying to escape as well. And then this snipe here from Mitro. He actually, not only did he hit that, and they get right into it onto Zexro, he hit Vinny coming in with a driftboard right before this. So one elimination there for them. And then they had the engagement that we saw earlier. We're gonna go ahead and run it back because this clutch puts them perfectly in position at 4th place right now. A reminder that this was with Mitro down after all was said and done. There he goes down, and then Mongrel comes in right on cue. He does not let his teammate go down. You heard the reactions earlier, and it continued because Mongrel got one more elimination in this game, leading to the 8 eliminations total before they fell, not before earning placements points though. So this game, not only did they take out Vinny and Zexro, which were in 3rd place, they stopped them from accruing any more placement points, so they are inching their way closer. They're now in 4th place. They actually have the most elims out of everybody in the tournament so far on 20. So with 2 more games to go, we're gonna see where they can leave themselves at the end. Back to you guys, GB and Monster.
Thank you so much, Vala, for the insight there. Everyone getting all ready for games 5 and 6. And then we crown our first ever Fortnite World Champion. Crazy to say out loud.
It's happening.
It's happening.
This is it. It's happening.
It's happening, right? Now, there have been a lot of duos that have been the talk of the town, but one duo in particular that have a lot of fans excited are Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage. And we did get an opportunity to catch up with them. They're currently in 8th place. Can they climb up? Let's go ahead and check it out.
This is a scary duo. Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage.
Our communication is probably the best in the world.
I'm gonna rift us.
Yeah, go. I just think we're on another level.
Behind you.
Double RPG, 3, 2, 1, go.
Absolute destruction there.
This dual partnership has changed our lives. We've been able to accomplish so much more together.
Let's go!
He encourages me, I encourage him.
We're best friends, we're dual partners, and it makes me smile.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Check me again, bro. We're savage. We're Benji Fishy, bro.
My name is Martin Floss Anderson, and I go by the name Mr. Savage.
My name is Benji Fish, and my in-game name is Benji Fishy.
One of the most terrifying duos coming out of Europe, period.
We live in different places, but we talk every day online.
I live in Oslo in Norway, and Benji lives...
I live in Surrey in the UK.
And I travel to England to meet him, see how he's doing here.
He has my back. If I ask him something, he'll help me out. We don't actually just play Fortnite. We play other games when we just want to have fun.
We have a lot of the same interests. He's always really humble. I love his personality. Yeah, we're great friends.
Oh, shoot. All right, yeah. Shoot. All right, yeah.
I'm too good for you.
Oh, there's a guy northwest of me. He has an RPG, I'm north. Ooh,
The reason why we're so good at playing duos is because we both have super good mechanical skills, good chemistry, and communication.
Okay, 120. Knocked one. Let's go, dude.
Everybody knew in the community that Savage was one of the best players in the world. He knows the game really well, so he makes really good calls.
Benji's just so insane at just eliminating people.
Benji Fishy is dialed in right now.
He just follows me perfectly. He fills in the gaps that I can't fill in.
You'd think a fish out of water would be harmless. Not this fishy. Not today.
People were definitely scared if they see some fishes running around Happy Hamlet.
You'd think fishes weren't really that scary, but Fortnite, it's quite the opposite.
We're in a really good state right now as a duo.
Let's just cross through League. I think there's people on the other side.
We're playing super well.
Players, they continue to go down like flies.
We've been practicing. It's really nice to, you know, finally be able to
Prove ourselves.
Benji, fishy, savage.
I think we're just going to show people how good we are.
Hey, look at that right there. Some fans of Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy. They were diabolical in the online qualifiers. And maybe, just maybe, with these last 2 games, they could pull it up and get themselves into top 3, maybe even first place. How crazy would that be?
Let's be honest, we've seen them do very well so far. Maybe not the performance they were looking for. I know they want to pull a victory. They have everything it takes. They can muscle up from 8th. They'll be up there.
It's going to be a challenge for not them, but every single player. But we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, games 5 and 6, and then we crown our first ever Fortnite World Champions. We'll see you on the other side.
Dude. This is intense.
I'm here in the player lounge right now, joined by our Pro-Am winners, RL Grimes and Airwalks. Wasn't totally expecting you'd win 2 in a row. Can you walk me through those final moments?
It felt really good. I don't think I would have won if I didn't have him.
Now, RL Grime, you were holding your own, you were keeping up, you were staying alive, you were getting eliminations. How did you change your playstyle from last Pro-Am to this Pro-Am?
I think we learned a lot from the last one. Just that you focus on late game a little bit, and I just sort of let him lead the way and made it happen.
How did it feel to play with a potential World Cup duo winner?
It's amazing. I'm actually going to come tomorrow and sit in the stands and cheer for my man Airwalks. Yeah.
Maybe make an Airwalks sign and wave it in the air?
Maybe a 98 bot sign. I'll hold it up.
Good luck on the event tomorrow. Congratulations on winning. Congratulations on winning. Incredible, incredible gameplay throughout Fortnite World Cup Pro-Am.
My name is Hype.
My name is Serpent. We qualified on the last week.
Week 10, DUOS.
It was pretty crazy. We knew it was the last opportunity we had, so we were just completely focused the entire time, and it was just a huge relief after we qualified.
Yeah, it was such a relief. I was waiting for this moment the whole time.
Well, before the leaderboard updated, we was almost positive. We was freaking out, and then when we finally saw the leaderboard update, we just started screaming the entire house down. We started playing back in like season 3 of Fortnite. We just found each other through a Discord community and joined a squad team together, and we just stuck with each other ever since.
Yeah, pretty much. I've never ever played with another duo besides Serpent, so since day one. We both make calls.
Yeah, we both have things we're a little bit better at, but we try to take
we have 7 minutes.
the roles like evenly. I'm just really excited to play with everyone from all the regions. Yeah, I would say from what we've seen, OCE is a lot more aggressive play style because we go for a lot higher point games, whereas yeah, NA and EU, they have like way more passive play style than us, I think. It's a dream come true, to be honest. It's all I've wanted to do is just play games, and to have a huge opportunity like this is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same, but yeah, just crazy opportunity to be able to play against the best players around the world.
家好，我是 XXM， 我来自中国。
The rocket's gonna come up through. Are they all coming down? Moon PPO.
我叫小蒙德，我来自中国。
我们是在那个亚洲锦标赛第6周海选的时候，然后双排拿到了亚洲第1。
A second rocket going to catch both players? How do you even find that angle?
当时我很高兴，我超级高兴，从桌子上跳了起来。
These guys do not miss. You have to be careful. You cannot sleep on them.
我们为了准备这个比赛，我们每天基本上要训练12个小时以上。
我想我到现场的话，我的心应该会蹦出来。
我希望他们可以好好的去看这场比赛，因为能学到很多的东西。
And it's over before we could even say anything because Xpende and XXM just destroyed them. Don't land on these guys.
因为我平时很喜欢购入，然后如果说获得这么多奖金的话，我一定会买。
也许我会在一个很悠闲的地方买一个栋房子，比如瑞士。
There you go, bro. Nice to meet you. Enjoy your weekend, okay? Thank you.
We found respect. I see you guys play yesterday for the first time.
Yeah.
A lot of skills.
It's good fun. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good
It's
fun.
very cool, man. Very impressive.
Hey, man. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
I've been following you for so long. It's crazy I'm here. I can't believe it. Can I get a video of you saying that I'm the best Fortnite player?
Okay.
Can you say Lucas is the best Fortnite player?
Lucas is the best Fortnite player. Okay.
Alright guys, here's Ali and he has a message.
Very important message. Lucas is the best Fortnite player, okay?
Thank you, man. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much.
What's up, buddy? What's your name?
Kevin, man.
Kevin, nice to meet you, bro. How are we doing today?
Doing good. Congrats yesterday, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it was crazy. $1 million jump. My teammate really clutched up.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Yeah. Boom. There you go, buddy. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one, man.
You're my brother. That's your biggest fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that. So, man, what's your name? James? And Justin. How we doing, boys? Sign right there. All right, cool. Having fun at the event? Good. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, it was fun.
What's up, guys? It's Clicks.
And it's Skeptic.
And we qualified for NA East.
Alright, so me and Clicks' main goal.
The fuck am I watching?
More than semifinals. We wanted to shoot for top 25 because we qualified the first week that it was DUOS. So we wanted to shoot for top 25, and we just blew out our expectations with how we played that day.
This is my first LAN event ever. I'm 14, so before this, the required LAN age was 16. So this is a life-changing event that Epic gave me.
It's mind-blowing, and it's a good journey. So one of my friends back in December recommended me to play with Clicks, so I tried playing with him once. We played a few games. We didn't do amazing. Well, we played pretty good, but I had to do a part at a time, so I was good. But after he started competing high levels and Share the Love, he got first place and all that, I hit him up and we started the game.
And then the first week, we probably played for 3 days, and that week we qualified.
Yeah.
So we had 3 days of practice and somehow qualified. Yeah, before big games, get my nerves out and make sure I'm on the right track. I literally just scream as loud as I can. Like, my stream knows it, so hopefully that goes a long way.
I wash my hands. I'm not joking. No, I wash my hands. I have to get the perfect grip on my mouse, so I wash my hands a lot. Like a lot a day, just to make sure I have a perfect grip on my mouse. Sounds pretty weird, but it helps.
Tons of people ask me questions on a daily, like, how do you find the right sensitivity? And I feel like that's obviously the big mechanical way for the game. So I just tell people to stick in one sensitivity and just work your way at it, and it really comes a long way with my aim, my building, everything like that.
I say practice makes perfect with everything in life. Just I think about the game. The more you practice, the more you train playing creative, the more you'll get mechanical, game-wise, and all that up. So I think practice makes perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The World Cup Finals Duos competition. My name is Dr. Lupo, and I missed you dearly. Joining me on the desk for the final 2 matches, Courage JD. You know him, you love him, one of the best men in the industry.
Oh, stop.
I'm super excited to see what these final 2 games have in store. We've watched a ridiculous competition thus far. Honestly, it's been insane. I've had a chance to watch some of the plays, some of the shots from some of these players, the accuracy, the heads-up gameplay. Jack, it's been insane. What do you think so far?
It's insane, Dr. Lupo. It is great to hear your voice, and I am so excited to be casting these final 2 games together for the Fortnite World Cup Finals Duo competition. We are 2 games away from crowning our first ever Fortnite World Champions, who will win a combined $3 million US. That is a lot of money if you don't know how much US dollars is worth, because this is the World Cup, as you know. But Ben, I'm so excited.
It's insane. The $3 million for first place. It's not the only position on the leaderboard that takes home 7 figures. And to look at that leaderboard, we're going to throw it over to Sundown just to see where everybody stands thus far.
Thank you so much, Lupo and Courage. And what we have here is the current top 10 on the board. Now, we talked about this being the World Cup representation coming out in the top 20 from all of the regions in there. You can see NA currently sitting on top, but EU just behind them with representation from Mitro and Mongrel, Rojo and Wolfies. And then during the break, we got to talk to Hype and Serpent, who have also made a great play. Let's not forget about our most recent victory royale out of Nyrox and Aqua, climbing them into the top 10. Now, what we want to take into account, 2 matches are left. The highest elim totals we've seen out of a pairing is 12. We've seen it twice. What we have seen on the Victory Royale end, we've seen a 9 elimination, but more commonly, it's right around 5 or 6. So what does that mean? We can expect about 2 of the winners to come out with 15 to 16 points. If you look at that top 10 right now, the spread is 17 points. With 2 games remaining, everyone who is on this board has the ability to challenge for the top spot to be the first ever Duos World Champion at the Fortnite World Cup. No one is out of it. The Chinese pair is just off the page as well. Anybody can make a play. 2 matches are left. Let's head back inside, back into the action. Lupo and Courage, take it away.
Sundan, thank you so much for your analysis of the board thus far. And you're right. Looking at the board, the limited spread between first and 10th, 17 points is incredibly close, but that's not even the beginning of it. You have to realize that across all 50 duos, just 2 games, these last 2 could push any duo all the way up into the top. That top 10 taking a crazy amount of prizing home, Jack.
Yep. It is a life-changing amount of money, to say the least. As you know, people watching from around the world, millions and millions tuning in today. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I want to hear from you right now. Tweet Dr. Lupo, myself, Fortnite. Which region will come out on top? Will NA remain up top? Will EU surge back? You heard some of the Asia, Oceanic, Brazil region still trying to push on through. I think NA is going to do it. I really do.
It's anybody's game, to be quite honest, but it's interesting to see trends from the qualifiers of previous weeks. You know, the 10 that we had leading up to this moment. Some of the names that were stars then, stars yet again here, and that consistency is going to shine through in a big way as we go into late games. We've had some of the highest player count final circles that we've ever seen. We've had a lot of aggressive gameplay from people at clutch moments. And that's not the end, Jack. We've got 2 games left, and Game 5 is ready to go, Jack.
Ladies and gentlemen, this crowd has been incredible live here at the Arthur Ashe Tennis Arena in New York City. Which region will reign supreme? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The battle bus has launched. Game 5 is underway.
For the last few matches, Jack, we've seen some relatively contested, popular drop zones. I've been watching on Twitter, and a lot of people have discussed whether or not Loot Lake right now is one of the hottest drops in the game. You have a number of duos, high-power duos that have dropped there consistently thus far. Do you think going into this Game 5 and 6, we're gonna see similarly contested early drops, or are people gonna change up the strategy with the amount of prizing on the line?
I think the thing that we've seen so far is the teams that stick to their strategy are the teams that are, staying out on top. It's why they're consistently placing Sap and Zayt, for example. Wouldn't be surprised to see people stick with their normal game one more time. Again, as Sundown did a great job of highlighting, Dr. Lupo, one big performance, 12 elims in a victory royale, 22-point game would shoot you way up the leaderboards.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't count yourself out yet, as we do see our last match winners currently on our screen.
Uncontested there. Nyrox dropping in an early baller, a very pivotal piece for late game survival. Going to farm up all the materials he can inside. Not going to smash too much of the outside until maybe the last second, just to prevent any reveal of his own position. He's just going to go ahead and move on out. Actually does see targets down below. A couple attempted shots. That scope, they are accuracy at this level. Going to have to be very key if you're going to try and pick up an elimination that early. The scope might be exactly what Nyrox needs to establish yet another elimination to put himself higher on the leaderboard of this duo.
Remember, the scope, assault rifle, a hit scan weapon. You aim, you point, you shoot. If it's on him, it'll hit him. And these guys have pinpoint accuracy, as it's known. When you land on the southwest side of the map, if you don't land in an exact big area, it's a very, very scrappy start. It's a lot around getting a baller, rotating on through, and just trying to, pick up one chest here, loot one building here, and piece some things together. It's known how tough it can be, but Nyrox and Aqua currently on their way. Let's shift our focus towards Neo Tilted here. You see Mongrel and Mitro, who so many times have been contesting here with Clix and Skeptic. Clix and Skeptic so far, pretty quiet day today, Dr. Lupo.
I would agree. 4 duos, though, in Tilted. Going to be interesting to see who opts to take an early out. Maybe go for the ballers that spawn in that slipstream around the outside, or maybe get a little aggressive and push on another team that spawns in there. Potentially from an earlier game, though, Skeptic hopefully learned his lesson. You don't want to L the camera necessarily too early.
Yep.
Love to see the confidence, though. He's a very confident player, which does not surprise me. Extremely skilled, so that kind of gameplay, you're going to see it from Skeptic on and off the stream and on and off the land here. Arthur Ashe Stadium, one of the coolest arenas I think we've ever done this in.
Oh, incredible. It's, you walk on through, you see all the tennis greats, and I hope they put up a poster of the winner of the Fortnite World Cup there. It's Serena Williams, Sap and Zayt.
Honestly, it would be incredible.
It would be. I think that sounds good to me. I think that people wouldn't be confused at all. But maybe it's the start of a great legacy here at this arena. But right now, you begin to point out Mongrel and Mitro landing here every single game. 4 teams though, still in Neo Tilted. When will the battles begin? 97 players left. Every duo still represented.
Crazy powerful loadout. You saw he has 4 shadow bombs this early in the game. Those are incredibly powerful going into late game, especially when you're attempting to avoid confrontation as much as possible until just the right moment. You can shadow bomb out of almost anything. Granted, the people that may see you rotate don't have pinpoint accuracy, right, which honestly is typically the case in a lobby like this.
Well, we go ahead and look at Lucky Landing right now. 2 teams currently here. This has been the case so far this game. Gustavox, 8, and Wishy DP up against M11Z in the duo right there.
At this point, yeah, I was going to say, it looks like they're just opting to do a little bit of a split here. Just watching the opponents move around down below. They don't necessarily have to push just yet. They do have a little bit of time before the storm starts to make a move here, so pressure is going to be applied before you know it. But a loadout like this, there's no shotgun in the inventory. They have the shockwaves to rotate if they need to, but those are oftentimes saved for late game if you can do it. It's an easy way to push through opponents' builds that are above you, as we've seen in previous matches countless times. Take the high ground without maybe being challenged. The only downside is you put yourself way out in the open. We did see a number of players get eliminated on the fly, literally, while shooting through the air with a shotgun. So we'll have to see. Shots are behind Gustavox 8. Knocked down, no shield remaining.
Wondering if Daedra and M11Z decide to push off this Wishy. Reveals that he does have that heavy sniper, grenades coming on through. Quick little reaction right there to box up for a brief moment. But remember, when you get that shield broken, there is a unique animation and sound effect. So Daedra and M11Z know that Gustavox up top has no shield left, and that heavy sniper rips through the wood right there. Good coordination to get some damage done on this player.
Saw Daedra holding that edit, that pyramid at the top, so we can look through, and shots from the duo up above, Wishy and Gustavox, well coordinated. No push yet. This is kind of a stalemate at this point, which for all 4 of these players may end up fighting them in the back. That being said, Wishy, the fly-in right there, pushing up, trying to get past, moving over to this brick pig, and make their way into maybe a little bit of side cover.
Shrine made for me on the map is. Now Wishy will go ahead and loot that chest alongside Gustavox, who are both out of shields. Looks like Daedra And F1-1Z did what they wanted to, which is to push them out of Lucky Landing. Not sure if they're going to continue to pursue this. It doesn't appear so right now. And all things considered, I don't think they need to, right? They can go back now, farm up this whole area, check for the certain loot spots that may have been missed, and continue to get materials now. Moving towards Dusty Divot. Rogue members Tetra and Eclipse currently building on up with players just below.
Clix and Skeptic, the duo underneath. A little bit of a split for Tetra and Eclipse. Hopefully does not come to bite them in the back. We'll see here in a second. Eclipse pushing up, trying to match position with Tetra. Shots on the baller. You don't want to see those things last too long. Nobody was in it. It was just rolling down the hill.
And this could be really useful, Ben, because the players down low that are going to get by this airstrike, I believe it's Clix and Skeptic, are only building with Wood, and Wood gets shredded on through. And Skeptic, because of that, now down to just 25 HP, and that might be the green light for this duo to push on forward. One player challenging up top. Eclipse has him trapped in the box. Does take a little bit more damage. It will be a build battle for height. Eclipse with a ton of materials, but look at the elimination feed. Tetra with the elim on the Skeptic, so it's a 2 versus 1. Clix all by himself.
Even if there's a sacrifice in the 2v1, that 1v1 afterwards and the pickup, the revive your teammate might be the best play. We'll see here in a second. Pressure from above, not yet. Clix all by himself right there. To take just a second and heal up. Any chance you can get to get a little bit of HP might be the key to staying alive.
And this is where I believe adjustments need to begin to be made, right? Eclipse and Tetra, as they push on forward. Clix now all by himself, trying to force him to happen. There's no shot right there as he goes down. The day of struggles for Skeptic and Clix continue. But the point I was going to make right there is now you're getting to a point where you need to go and push for those elims if you want to make the climb back up that leaderboard. Eclipse and Tetra obviously still have some work to do in that 2 versus 1 before another team can begin to push on in and try to steal that last elimination. They have to force the 2v1. Thankfully, Clix does it for them. They get the free limb and win that fight at Dusty Divot.
Meanwhile, Saf and Zate, first game winners, current leader. Saf beam from above. Oh my gosh, the heavy snipe to knock the pyramid and immediately capitalizing on Saf being exposed. Leaves Zate in a 1v2. A little bit of a panic, and the Shadow Bomb may or may not be enough. Right into the slip to try and sneak away. Run down in some previous builds. That's a quick pick off there from 4ZR and nowhere.
And that's the second time we've seen that today. The player with the heavy sniper, they can see that the pyramid is being edited on through and peeked through. So they immediately call that out. They time the shot alongside AR shots, or that one I believe it was actually shotguns. And Saf is eliminated before he can even build a single wall. As right now it's Zate all by himself. Now moving towards the northeastern side of the map near pressure plant. Our mech friend no longer there, but Nyx just took a ton of damage. Close by, I believe. Did he get sniped? I think he got sniped.
I believe he did. Sitting on quite a bit of healing, though. The slurp, minis, that campfire, all going to be big there. You see he's waiting for the campfire to finish. He's going to pop that slurp, get back to 100, 100. Meanwhile, Airwax, Nikov owning the top of the ship here. Just taking shots at anybody that rotates. That high ground advantage, even early game. We look at it a lot. Late game. Yep. A lot of the build fights and late game rotations are capitalized by players that have the high ground advantage. But even early game, high ground gives the ability to scout. Aiden and Sean goes down. Aiden, an attempt to push on through and try and pick up the elimination on his opponent. Quinton inside the box there, does knock the wall out, picks up the materials and kick. He grabbed the card of his teammate.
I was going to say, I think that the teammate was not. So it is a 1 versus 1 in this fight. Aiden at max HP. Gets the high ground for the moment. Quinton, absolute the health disadvantage. Aiden most likely knows this. Continues to push for this elimination. Wants to clean this up as quickly as possible. Wondering if Quinton has any traps to be used right here. Doesn't appear so as of right now. That edit was just missed by Quinton as he tried to go push back up to the high ground. Just get above. Aiden pushes on in. Spraying. Unfortunately not able to connect. Takes 44 damage right there. Quinton, a masterful fight so far. Aiden's health advantage now gone as they're about 15 HP between each other. But Aiden has the chug splashes, and Dr. Lupo, they show off just how good they are right there.
Quinton stuck all the way up top, popping that med kit, trying to get back to 100 HP. Aiden and Quinton in a little standoff here, a back and forth of epic proportions. Quinton,
there's the storm.
A little bit of pressure. You got up above. Quinton trying to watch that, holding that pyramid edit with a peek. Trying to catch himself up inside the pyramid by resetting. Can't quite do it. Does fight for high ground. Aiden on controller. Don't forget that. One of the best controller players we've ever seen. 101 HP remaining. these inside the box fights, the combat for who can own a wall, the back and forth is insane. And the top down view, Aiden can't quite get that pyramid edit and gets caught in his own door.
Did he miss? Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he missed the edit out. Did wind up building a door, and Quentin makes it back in time to grab the reboot card. So Aiden and Sean go down quite early in game number 5. 74 players remaining. Storm Surge still currently in play. Zayt and Sap far above it at 385 damage above. Shouldn't really have to worry about that too much. As Zayt is in another skirmish right here. Dr. Lupo not deciding to use the chug splashes to get that health up.
An interesting note here, you see Zayt taking single swings the wall that he doesn't own. He's attempting to bait the player from stopping a heal. He wants him to disengage from that so he can basically force a fight. He doesn't want them to get any of that HP back.
You got the floor.
Shield.
And he already had that wall!
Oh my gosh, and Tux goes down. What an angle shot from Zayt there.
And that right there is Zayt baiting his opponent into making that exact move. What you just saw was why Zayt has remained one of the best players in competitive Fortnite from the very early days. He replaced the first wall before that fight even began. Then he moved towards his opponent, shot out the floor to push him towards the wall he already replaced. And once he did that, once the player ran and thought he was safe, he quickly hops on up, edits his own wall that he placed earlier, and gets the free elimination. It's one of those plays that separates Zayt from the millions of other players that play Fortnite.
There's a reason they won that first game, Jack. It's going to show through and through throughout all these matches. Ziff is called on your screen here. Game 5. 2 matches remaining.
It's a very easternmost zone, Dr. Lupo, so you're looking towards it right now. Lonely Lodge will still narrowly be in play. Outside of that, just the drone ship from up above.
The right side of your screen, don't get the format for these. Oh, Quinn goes down.
I think he got caught with his build still in his hand. He wasn't expecting it.
See the blueprint out. You hate to see that. The victory royale worth 10 points. Top 5 is 7. Top 10 is 5. Top 15 gets you 3. And every elimination, that single point, and every elimination so valuable in 6 matches. We're not looking at the same 10 that we saw in the qualifying weeks. You have only the 6, but it's a guaranteed 6. You have to take advantage of every elim you can, because looking at the leaderboard like Sundown did earlier, 17 points at that time spread 1st to 10th place.
Yep. Here the fights continue. Tyler 15 and Lanane in an awkward position right now as Tyler 15 has gone down, and there's pressure from both sides. And you've got to think these players know exactly where they are, and that's what they're going to do. Already 4 eliminations between Forziar as well as Noward, and they're trying to get this wall replaced. They've got one. Did he get the pyramid as well? I can't tell as of right now.
Interesting note about Tyler 15 and Lanane. They had planned to run just the first qualifier, week 2 together. And if they did not qualify for the World Cup, they agreed that they were going to try and hook up with their normal duos.
Yep.
And lo and behold, they qualified for the World Cup. So here they are. They have not spent a whole lot of time together. And it's amazing to say that, because the cohesion between those two, oftentimes when we watch them, they're on top of each other's game the entire time.
Yep. And that's why they've made it this far. 65 players left. The next Storm Surge could be happening soon. You see the shockwave grenades used as Crims right now eats a rocket to the face, down to just 79 HP. Thankfully, if you're a Crims fan, he does have 5 minis to pop, 2 big shields. I'm sure Spades. Oh no, Spades is full health, so I was gonna say, I'm sure Spades, if he needs some shields,
they are good to go. They are good to go.
Spades just needed more AR ammo to keep shooting, Dr.
Exactly.
Lupo.
Exactly. Hold down that left click and see what you can get. Especially in situations like this. We even saw that kind of thing happen in the Pro-Am. I think Tim the Tatman faced attacks from multiple sides while in the box.
It happens.
A number of players know how that feels, and so the ammunition does get chewed through quite quickly.
Absolutely is. You see where all these players are stacked up. Rote DW and Blue T taking over that main lodge right now. Sid's Lucky. Don't see the duo anywhere, so Sid's Lucky might be all by himself at the moment. 62 players left. Zayt, remember, by himself. Saf did get cut down earlier on, and it looks like Vinny also all alone. Maybe Zexor dropped earlier on in this game too.
Going into these late games, Jack.
Yeah.
Especially when we're on the second to last. Pressure is at an all-time high for some of these players, especially the ones that have never experienced a LAN event like this. And this is the biggest one that Fortnite has ever had. Do you think they're going to be able to capitalize on that, take advantage of their own nerves, and use that? to climb the leaderboard?
I mean,
or is it going to get the best of them?
I'm just really, I can't even speak from experience on this. I mean, yeah, sure, I played at a few pro-ams and sure outplaced you, Tim, Ninja, well, basically everyone yesterday as I got top 8, and that was an incredible performance that I'm truly proud of.
Jack, you outplaced us in both winnings and wake.
But as we take a look at this again, I actually forget what I was going for with this because I was complimenting myself so much, but Nate Hill and Funk Bomb, 2 players who've had a very quiet day so far, 4 points up to this game. They've matched that in this one alone, so they're at 8 overall, and well, that's that moment we're talking about. With the shield broken, the entire lobby has decided you are the player we're going to shoot at, and Nate Hill is burning through materials. This is looking like it's going to end right here for this FaZe Clan duo. Nate trying to make it through. Just a frantic flint knock shot. At that point, it's desperation. 6 total builds, no healing, only 34 HP.
Imagine if Nate had caught Wade.
Did tag him. And no.
Gospel side is caught between multiple teams, players rotating into the zone, players that were originally taking shots. A tough break there in Game 5 for Nate Hill and Funk Bomb.
Keenstar and Hunter do wind up finishing off that elimination with the help of Serpent and crew. 57 players left now. This zone, Ben, is in the middle of basically a forest, but most trees are now gone. I'm looking at the minimap right now. This is a pretty central zone where everything's remaining. So players on the outside will need to move in from all areas. The zone pushing forward. Here are Mitro and Mongol. A quiet game so far. 0 eliminations up to this point. The question remains, will EU climb up into the top 3? They're just on the outside right now. I know this is NA home turf, but I know the hundreds of thousands of European members of the Fortnite community are out there rooting for duos like Mongol and Mitro to pop on up. And unfortunately, when I mentioned EU duos, I just saw Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage go down to the duo of Arkram and Falconer as they continue to perform well, a team also in the top 6.
Not out of this just yet. 1 game still remaining. This circle, a east-southeast push. This is the 50-50 where you're going to see a number of players sit inside the next safe zone and take advantage of that ability to watch people rotate in. That's where a lot of the eliminations mid-game happen, is people trying to get into the next position. And players like Mongrel, Mitro, they are in spots to take advantage of that. That being said, Ronaldo does take out Mitro on the feet, picks up that elimination for the duo. 28 duos remaining. We're not even close to placement points yet. That happens at 15, Jack.
Yeah, and Mongrel knows this. When you look at his inventory right now, no combat shotgun, still this epic tactical shotgun, quite good. The big question for me, 2 shadow bombs, all the movement, how exactly does he play this? Mongrel looking for an elimination, shot comes on in, does get a small little shield tag, but not too much to begin to push that. Good job at least getting up this layer of height. Remember, it's so tough in elevation here when there's so many builds. Bottom right of your screen, another solo still remaining. It's Zayd, who still has, I believe, 3 shadow bombs left, Dr. Lupo, to make plays in the late game.
2 of the biggest players we've watched thus far. A lot of people just waiting to see how things are going to play out. Mongrel holding this edit. He's waiting for that opportunity to pop up with that purple tag. See if you can do enough damage to pick up an elimination or at least a knock, especially as we get into the circles where movement of the entire zone is going to happen. A knock will translate into a full elimination. The siphon will kick in for the HP or shield.
Still thing.
Those last second elims before things start to move, those are huge. They give you that little boost you might need to engage in the fight on the move. Falconer, Arkram sitting in a great spot right now, kind of smack dab in the middle of the current safe zone.
Yeah.
We have 21 seconds before the circle starts to move.
I mean, I feel like this duo hasn't been spoken about a ton so far today. They're currently top 5, Dr. Lupo, in another place where...
Incredible players.
Yeah, they can absolutely make some noise right here in this one if they can finish strong. Remember, other teams in the top 5, they'll still have representation. With Zayd still in this one, Falconer and Arkram. Arkram quite weak at the moment, though, about 120 HP in total. 27 duos left. If you're keeping in mind the format of this game, it's top 15, and they're going to go ahead and shockwave across. They both use 1 shockwave together, and now the push begins. Falconer slowly inching towards this zone. He's being pressured by some stinks at the moment. Only 7 total builds left. He's got to follow up his teammate, and that's a great recovery by this duo. He's made it back to Arkram, but look at the high ground, folks. The battle begins now. Aqua and Nyrox are winners from last game, already back on height, and high ground has been the key to victory so far today.
Just underneath Airwax, the back-to-back Pro-Am winner, and his duo Nikov below. Previous game winner sitting all the way up on top. Cease and Elevate rotating across the very front of the circle. You see players flying across the current safe zone. The shockwave grenades so key in movement late game right now in the current meta. Players on bottom fighting it out. Only a few ballers left in play right now, and they're most likely, if not already, going to be eliminated very quickly.
19 duos left.
Aqua on the top. He'll come float back down here in just a second.
Battle still going. Nyrox and Aqua off the high ground. No one challenging for it as of yet. You got Elevate and C still on the low ground. Punisher there as well. Mongrel still making plays happen without any movement items left. We are one team away from placement points being earned, and there it is. We are now in our top 15.
Zay getting caught off guard from behind. Name drops in.
He wound up dropping in 16th.
It's just outside of placement points.
Zay and Saf will not earn placement points this game. The lobby beginning to drop like flies, and look on the high ground still, folks. It's Nyrox and Aqua setting themselves up for a great spot at the end of this game. 2 players still left in ballers. Somehow, Mongrel is up. Oh no, he goes down right there. 11 players left, Dr. Lupo.
Players all the way to the high ground, still Aqua and Nyrox. They have absolute ownership of everything underneath them so long as they stay on top of their material count. They don't get overzealous with those builds. You have to savor those because right now there's nothing left unless you pick it up from a player that gets eliminated. Item at the edge of the zone goes down. Spray from that minigun from Aqua. He is not letting anybody move unchallenged right now.
So powerful. 2 duos left. It's Aqua and Nyrox, Cease and Elevate. The rest are all solos down low. Cluja with the elimination on a Chapix. Cease and Elevate deciding to drop down low because I believe they're out of builds. They just got to go brawler mode right now. Cease getting chunked by this minigun of Aqua as he continues to rain down fire. Down goes Cease. Elevate now weak as well.
The circle's moving back the other way. Wolfies is at the forefront right now in one of the best spots because of all those builds potentially already owned. He can just make his way on through without challenge.
Skype trying to challenge for high ground and gets absolutely beamed. Daedra and Wolfies in this game as solos. Cluja as well. Aqua and Nyrox. Could they get another victory royale? Currently at 5 eliminations this game.
Aqua, stick grenades from above, still riding the minigun, still 250 small ammunition remaining, and this thing is so punishing from above. You have that high ground advantage. You have the shots on Wolfies from above the elimination, a 3v2 situation. Aqua, Nyrox looking to pick up the first World Cup back-to-back victory royale, Jack.
Pressure coming on in, they drop down low, the tag's coming.
Oh my gosh!
There it is! A 17-point performance from Aqua and Nyrox as they win it again.
That alone, those 2 games may be enough to push them all the way to the top of the leaderboard, and they are 1 game away, if they can hold that, from $3 million.
My goodness, folks, here it is again. Aqua with that minigun up top just made it impossible for any other team to even try to contest them on high ground. They send Nyrox down, Cluja there as well. Here, Cluja was doing everything he could, but again, when you're at a number disadvantage, Dr. Lupo, a health disadvantage, when you're on the low ground as well, I mean, I just don't see how you could even win the game. He tried to edit him down. Unfortunately, just can't hit the final shots as Aqua still drops him with 200 HP. And again, much deserved as they take the victory royale.
The reactions from these players are one of my favorite parts, especially at this level, Jack.
Yeah.
1 game remaining. World Cup Finals Duos competition, and the best players we've ever seen in any lobby, literally ever.
Yep.
And we're here along with literally 18,000 people at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, and they are enjoying themselves here today. What a feeling it has been. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far of the Fortnite World Cup Finals live from New York City. A reminder for the millions watching online right now, we still have another day of competition, and tomorrow it gets even more intense. The solos competition will be underway. Tfue will be involved as well. I'm sure a lot of people here looking forward to that. as it is going to be one to remember tomorrow. There's no duos that can save you. There's no reboots. It's you and you only. The nerves will be at an all-time high.
Who do you have? If you look at the entire list of everybody for solos, real quick, one or two names. Who do you think's going to do well?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm looking at anyone who's double qualified. For me, right off the bat, as people that could be favorites. And, whoa, we just got the standings. And now I'm completely shifted focus. Saf and Zayt still in the lead.
3 points, Jack.
Yes.
First and second are separated by 3 points. The two
Mongrel
victory
and
royales
Nitro,
now
if they have
for
this
Nyrox
last
and Aqua,
game,
definitely moving
they
them
can
way
get
up the
top
leaderboard. But look at
number
this place now.
They can get number
EU
one
and NA.
still.
The fight back and forth is there, right?
Twitter's talked about it about 1 million times.
Yep.
Reddit says it over and over again. EU versus NA, and I think right now this leaderboard screams that the competition on both sides is huge. Page 2 on your screen now, Jack.
And there's Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage, 12th place right now, 25 points. The difference between 11th and 20th, just 6 points right now. Dr. Lupo, still anybody's game as this continues on through. What a day we've had so far, just one game left. Everything on the line here, players preparing for this one as it should be starting up momentarily, but again, there are our leaders. And what we saw right there was them actually looking at second place, seeing exactly where they stand. Remember, when tiebreakers come into play, that second victory royale could make a major difference. We are almost ready for this last game here, but we want to take a look back at game number 5 with Ball.
Thank you so much, Courage. The action is crazy and this leaderboard is so tight at the top. We're going to take a look at some of the moments from Zayt and Saf's game because Saf actually went down early. So let's go ahead and roll it because this is Zayt being 300 IQ. Using the sound of the slipstream. This is something he does so well. Crouching up. These players have no idea he's coming in. Finishes off the first one right away. That's Forwin. Tux tries to make the play, but not before he finishes the elimination. And then Zayt ends up going down, tries to get the wall replaced for a bit, but continues on forward, gets back up with the slipstream, eventually comes back up to take out the last remaining player here. This was a 1v2 clutch. And if you think about the standings right now, they were at 40 points before this game began. They got 3 points in this one here by himself. That's what kept him in the lead here today, right now. Finally picking up Volks on the outside of the zone. That's perfect play from Zayt. Didn't get quite top 15, but he did get this one last elimination, and that is what is keeping them in the game right now. You have to remember, they did not play too well in the last game. They accrued a little bit of points, and they're doing it again. They have to have a strong game here, but when you think about the rest of them too, Mongrel and Mitro, they had only Mongrel for a little while. Vinny and Zexro, they only went down to Zexro as well. So clutch is all up. I mean, it literally, it comes down to one per player's performance. I can't wait to see this last game. Gentlemen, please, if you don't mind, close us out.
Thank you, Ball. Great stuff as always. And whoa, oh there, okay.
Marshmello joining us on the cast.
Yeah, I think that's basically exactly how it works. Now we have a little bit of special announcement for everyone live in the venue right now. Pay attention, Fortnite World Cup attendees, to celebrate the 1 p.m. Marshmello live performance on Sunday, tomorrow, the first 2,500 fans to enter the Arthur Ashe Stadium will receive a Marshmello cosplay helmet to wear during the performance. The first 400 fans to enter the stadium will also receive the Marshmello supply drop codes. These special codes contain the Marshmello outfit, the Mellow Rider glider, the all-new Mellow Mallets pickaxe, and 1,000 V-Bucks. Also, the first 10,000 fans to enter the stadium will receive Fortnite-themed Thunder Axes to make noise while cheering on their favorite players during the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Doors to the Arthur Ashe Stadium open at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow, so you want to make sure you get here early to make sure you get your seat. I'm looking forward to that.
Can you show me the axes, please?
I mean, look at this. You know how loud this is going to be in here tomorrow when you're banging these around, when you can annoy your siblings with these when you wind up going home with them. I don't want to give everyone any more ideas, but I'm ready for that performance. It's going to be an absolute blast. I know, I'm sure everyone here looking forward to that as well. Marshmello, so much fun to watch live, but this is it. Dr. Lupo, at the end of this game, we will crown the first ever Fortnite World Champions. I cannot believe we made it here. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. $15 million on the line here. 3, 2, 1.
Jack, 10 weeks of practice, the qualifiers, constant hours of scrimmaging against each other. These players know each other's strategies. They know where they're going to drop. They know when they will and won't pressure. This is going to be intense. Everything comes down to this last match, and as we've seen from previous games,